Good evening. We begin tonight here with the breaking news in the war in Iran. The U.S. deploying thousands more U.S. Marines to the Middle East. Increasing speculation tonight of a possible ground operation inside Iran and what that might look like. 2,200 Marines and thousands of sailors aboard 3 U.S. Navy warships now on the way. President Trump repeatedly pressed on whether he will order boots on the ground in Iran. Tonight, Israel and Iran trading airstrikes. Video showing debris from an Iranian missile crashing right into Jerusalem's Old City. Smoke seen rising from the site. Iranian drones hitting a Kuwaiti oil refinery. The global energy crisis growing. Oil prices at roughly $108 a barrel. Gas prices in the U.S. now up 98 cents a gallon since the war began. ABC's chief international correspondent James Longman leading us off tonight with news of these additional U.S. Marines now on the way.
U.S. officials tell ABC News tonight thousands more U.S. Marines are headed to the Middle East as the Trump administration weighs options on how to reopen the critical Strait of Hormuz. New video shows the USS Boxer and 2 more massive Navy amphibious ships leaving San Diego, at least 2,200 Marines on board. It's the second deployment of a Marine Expeditionary Unit just in the last week, equipped with ground forces, fighter jets, Ospreys and attack helicopters. With the US already striking more than 7,000 targets inside Iran, this deployment is sparking escalation. Those Marines could conduct ground operations. Options include seizing Iran's Karg Island, the hub of the country's oil economy, or carrying out raids on the Iranian coastline to try to force Iran to reopen the dangerous Strait of Hormuz. Tonight, the White House says there is no plan to send ground troops anywhere at this time. But President Trump hasn't ruled out putting boots on the ground. And late today, the president was asked if he has a plan for Iran's Karg Island.
Well, I may have a plan or I may not, but how would I ever say that to a reporter? If I said that to a reporter, Marco would say, please, sir, let's bring you over to the helicopter immediately, right? No, I can't tell you that. It's certainly a place that's people are talking about, but I can't say yeah.
Tonight, the president blasted Americans' NATO allies, calling them cowards for not helping to secure the strait. Trump saying they complain about the high oil prices they're forced to pay, but don't want to help open the Strait of Hormuz. But many of those American allies have signaled they did not start this war and they weren't consulted before President Trump launched it nearly 3 weeks ago. Tonight, the president says the Strait of Hormuz could be opened with a, quote, simple military maneuver.
It's a simple military maneuver. It's relatively safe, but you need a lot of help in the sense of you need ships, you need volume.
Tonight, French President Emmanuel Macron says France is ready to help escort ships passing through the strait once the situation calms down. Iran tonight continuing its retaliation. An explosion in the heart of Jerusalem's Old City. Smoke billowing into the sky. You see the moment of impact sending debris shooting into the air. Several people have been reportedly injured by missile shrapnel.
I looked up and suddenly I saw a cannonball just falling above me.
Our Tom Sufi Burridge is there.
Well, you can see the force of the blast from those missile fragments. We heard the thud from our hotel. We're in the Jewish quarter in the Old City, just yards away from some of the holiest sites in the world.
Tonight, the global oil shockwaves. Oil is now hovering around $108 a barrel. Gas prices in the US are up nearly $1 since Trump launched the war, $3.92 per gallon. And tonight, the new numbers from the Pentagon. We're now learning at least 232 U.S. troops have been injured, 10 of them seriously, the majority suffering traumatic brain injuries. 13 U.S. service members have been killed. And a U.S.-based monitoring group says at least 1,300 Iranian civilians have been killed and more than 1,100 military personnel. Allah. And tonight, all over the world, millions of Muslims marking the end of Ramadan and the Persian New Year. Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, who still hasn't been seen publicly since he was injured in the same attack that killed his father, has claimed to be behind a new defiant statement. He called the US strategy flawed and says it's backfiring. Late today, leaving the White House for Mar-a-Lago, the president was asked about Pope Leo, who's calling for a ceasefire.
Well, look, we can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side.
And David, as the Pentagon considers how to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and calm global oil prices, we're hearing, of course, more U.S. troops are heading to this region. The president has tonight posted to social media saying he's considering winding down the U.S. operation in Iran and that the U.S. is very close to meeting its objectives. David?
James Longman leading us off all week long here from the Middle East. James, thank you.